Hello, it's this Mr. Gambino here with a new stream. In this stream, I'm going to be doing my event week stream for this week in Grand Theft Auto Online. So, starting with the title, of course, there's 2 times money weed sales. There's an obvious, very particular reason for why there's only the weed business on 2 times money. And it's obviously because of 420, or April 20th, of course. Weed Day, or whatever the fuck people want to call it. And then, yeah, as a spectator, a couple of the highlights of the event week include 3 times money RP on Keep the Pace, which is an adversary mode. 2 times money in RP on contact missions. I'll go into specifics, see if they're like, I'll see into the specifics if it includes all kinds of missions or if it's only like the more like traditional contact missions. Because there's times where it's only like the casino story missions, other times where it could only be like the lowrider missions, and there's times, most of the times it's only more like the traditional contact missions. But there's times I'm pretty sure where they do all of them. Personally, I really would like to see like the lowrider missions finally on double money RP again, because I could continue my contact mission content series or whatever good reason to do that finally, since my next episode would be the lowrider ones. I want to do a video on the like beta missions. I don't know how the hell I would pull that off, since I make all of my videos on PS4, of course. I don't know where I would find like all the footage to try to back things up and stuff with beta contact missions. That stuff could probably be hard to research and stuff. And then also, of course, 70% off any vehicle upgrades. And of course, I'll be going over the rest. Or of course, the news wire's up at this point, of course, since I am streaming this like a small bit later than I usually have been doing the last few to several weeks. And by the way, since my shit wants to process for unnecessarily long for no apparent fucking reason recently, I am doing the stream at like 1 or 2. Yeah, I'm doing it at like 2 to 2:30 in the fucking morning on Friday. That's when this is being recorded. And that's in PST. But yeah, for some reason my YouTube streams have been being a bitch recently when it comes to processing. It takes longer than usual now for pretty much everything. I don't know if that's something that YouTube Sony is doing or anything because of this, because of the bullshit going on in the world, or if that's like slowing down like speeds or anything that they're doing right now. As far as I know with Sony, if I was only for like downloading updates and like games and stuff. But who knows, maybe YouTube slows down processing for right now because of the fucking bullshit in the world that's going on right now. But yeah, of course I went to the casino, shot the podium vehicle. But yeah, I'll say right now it's the Pariah, which I believe is still pretty top tier, still in the sports class, so it's very good if you do decide to go for the Pariah. It's probably one that's very worth going for. I think it was dethroned by like the Itali GTO, especially after the Arena Wars DLC, where it kind of got a little buffed due to changes in the advanced handling flags or whatever, but still it's a pretty top tier option in the sports class, I think. And of course it's green to fit in with the 420 week. I think the past couple like years they decided to celebrate 420 or whatever. I think it was only on 420, I think, where they did like the double money on the weed business. I'm glad they did do that. I probably get to pull like event week though this time around if that's the case. think before he did want to do it for like the one day. So yeah, they're being pretty cool about it for once and doing it for an entire event week for 2 times money on weed sales, of course, not just one day like I think it's done before. But yeah, how much will you save on the initial investment with getting the Pariah, of course? Apparently it's $1,420,000 vehicle it is, apparently. So apparently that's how much will be saved. And also, I won't be surprised if it has a livery. If it has livery options, it might have a livery on it. I didn't really look too much. So if you decide to keep the livery, that's another like 10 to 20-ish thousand, but still, that's pretty much nothing on that side of things. That's like a white stripe livery, apparently. If you do win it. But yeah, like I mentioned, I'm pretty sure the Pariah is still a very top tier vehicle. I'm assuming for both lap time and top speed that the Pariah is very good at. I did watch a video about a sports cars recently, within the past like week or two or something, in terms of their lap time and top speeds, but I don't remember it the best, but I do recall it being pretty good. Honestly, it's probably been very top tier ever since its release back in late 2017. So now to go over the premium race and time trials. So premium race, at least for the next couple days, is probably Crossing Pass. Well, it is Crossing Pass, but probably for the next couple days at minimum, if not for the whole event week. There was quite the times at least where they used to do like 3 premium races per event week. I don't know if that's something they still do, because they don't go in details on the premium races anymore like they used to. But yeah, if it's still off the old system, it will change probably one more time this event week for like the last day of the event week stream. I mean, for the event week, not the stream. But yeah, Sports Classic. But yeah, it's in the Sports Classic class. And honestly, I'm not entirely too sure on that one. I think Turismo and like Infernus Classics and whatnot are still some of the best options available for the Sports Classic class. Blade Ardent is a very good option as well, but obviously it's weaponized, so it can't be used. So yeah, a couple that come to mind for Sports Classic, I think, is the like Turismo and Infernus Classics. Which makes sense, of course, given they're like retro supercars, in a sense. But yeah, regular time trial for the week is Up and Atom. But yeah, it seems it would probably involve a lot of highways, so top speed might be the main prioritization for the time trial. Alright, I will do a small microphone test over here. Alright, successful. But yeah, when it comes to motorcycles, for the regular time trial, the top few like motorcycles will be the Shotaro. Underneath that would be Hawktail Drag, and then underneath that, Body 801 and then Akuma, I'm pretty sure, are like the top few. From Glorious to least. So yeah, Shotaro is definitely going to be the best bet for a motorcycle. Because the Shotaro corner is like a beast, so it's really good for lap time scenarios. Like I said, this one's probably going to be more for top speed, because it's probably going to mainly utilize the highway. Judging off the location and the description as well. And then with the Shotaro, I believe you can lean forward or backwards with the stick in order to get the like best possible speed with the Shotaro, so you don't have to wheelie with it to get the best speed with that one. I believe it's the only motorcycle that works that way, by the way, in the game at the moment. And then the one underneath it, Hawktail Drag, in order to get its best speed, you have to lean forward on the stick, I'm pretty sure. It's one of two vehicles where you can only lean forward with the stick, which I guess kind of makes sense with it being a drag motorcycle. So yeah, apparently for Hawktail Drag, from what I hear, you have to lean forward with the stick for the best possible speed. And then Body 801 and Akuma, you just lean back on the stick like if you were wheeling. And I believe whether you wheelie or not, you get that speed boost. That's how motorcycles work for the top few. And then for the super class, since if you're not going to use a motorcycle, you're pretty much probably going to be using the super class of vehicles. Top few for that class as well. Top few for raceable vehicles in that class would be the Emirates and the Krieger, which I believe just kind of alternate between lap time and top speed by a single placement, but still they're very close in both lap time and top speed for both Emirates and Krieger. And I believe there's the S80RR underneath the Krieger or whatever. And then after that would probably be the Wagner from back in 2017 with like the gun running update. I'm pretty sure those are still the few best options for most general scenarios. Obviously, you're kind of want to vary for lap time and top speed, so I would refer to roughly 1322. So those are the best few options I would say for motorcycles and supercars, which are probably pretty much going to be the only things people use on this. Because if you use any other vehicle from any class, you're kind of just screwing yourself. And then RC Bandito time trial for the week is Davis Courts. And yeah, I don't have a time trial guide on this one yet. I only have a time trial guide on the first few still. I haven't like made any new RC Bandito time trial guides in a while, because quite honestly, they're kind of boring to make, I would say, personally. But yeah. LGT, even though there's double money on weed, I'm probably not going to bother with you still. When it's double money RP on contact missions, after all. So yeah, now when I check on the contact missions, if it includes every single kind, or if there's specific ones. Okay. Regular ones are included, casino are not. Damn it, Lamar missions aren't included either. There's all these fucking lowrider discounts and they couldn't bother to do lowrider missions too. Like, come on, man. Right, dispatch is included. Dispatch 1 through 6 is indeed included. Kind of because they're more like regular contact missions, unlike the list. Repo is also included, so basically everything except like this very story focused contact missions, which would be lowrider and casino missions. Those would be the only exceptions. And I'm not sure about free mode co-op missions. I'm not sure if those are included or not, like, ever. So yeah, only other thing that would be in the pause menu would be to keep the pace adversary mode. And I'm assuming it's going to be like most, where there's exactly 7 maps. There's of course some exceptions which have less than 7, or assuming certain like series have more than 7, like the missile base for example, I think. Oops, I passed it. Keep the pace actually only has 5 maps, so it's one of those rare ones that have less than 7 maps. So yeah, keep the pace will reward triple money and RP. And I'm not even gonna guess if the payout's really good or not. In my opinion, it probably won't be. And actually, I kinda just did guess. But yeah, my opinion is it probably won't be worth doing these when there's also contact missions, double money, and then double money on the weed business. But yeah, this mode apparently races at like a constant speed above a set minimum, with the minimum increasing every lap, and drop below for too long and you explode. So basically it's kind of like the Rocket Voltic like VIP work. It's like the Velocity VIP work for the Rocket Voltic. So it's just like that VIP work, but it's adversary mode, of course. Huh. So yeah, on triple money, he would probably maybe pay around like what Velocity kind of pays. I don't know, or like double of it if it were like 2 times money. But yeah, it's definitely probably the worst of the money opportunities, even though triple money, I would argue. Because contact missions and weed are much like more lenient ways for making money. What's that? But yeah, pretty much all these are on 70% off discount, but only for their upgrade prices, which is a better deal since most of the vehicles on the site are pretty cheap. And yeah, pretty much most of these are just going to be getting for customization. You're not really want to be getting much for performance for most of the vehicles, I would say, on this website. So yeah, mainly just for customization, and since they're like supercars and stuff like that, it's mainly personal preference. Whereas things like weaponized vehicles and whatnot, I would obviously have a much bigger opinion on. So yeah, I counted 19 discounts from what I saw on the thing, so I don't know if there's any sort of exceptions. So yeah, it's Banshee 900R upgrade, Buccaneer, Custom, Kino Custom, Diablos Custom, Comet Retro Custom, OGRG Retro Custom. Good thing to know, by the way, about the Retro Customs is they're most definitely going to be slower, though they might not be that much slower when you upgrade them, since obviously they're going to turn to older versions, so it makes sense. Might be a big difference between the LGRJ and the Retro Custom of that one, but I think I saw the comment in Retro Custom versions have barely a difference in performance. I think it's only like one placement better than it, at least for a lap time or something. Yeah, I think I noticed there's 20 vehicles on here, but I only see like 19 discounts. And I think one would include like the Dunk like faction as well. Cause I don't know if there's a single one on here that's excluded or not, but it's pretty much all of them, regardless. I also won vehicle discounts earlier than I usually do. I usually go into properties first, so I'll actually go right to properties from here, and then I'll go back to the rest of the vehicles. Wasn't really much to say on all those. Anyone who spent a lot of time on the Benny's vehicles since they're mainly personal preference, and obviously it's mainly customization you're getting out of it. Not much of performance aspect for most of the vehicles in that list. But oh well. Alright, only property discounts actually relate to the weed business in particular. Which actually I can't even go over on the website. I would have to go all the way to the biker clubhouse, which isn't really like all that important. Obviously you just go on the laptop on the clubhouse. So yeah, there's 50% off weed businesses, upgrades, and supplies. So basically all the renovations of the weed business as well, and then any sort of supplies as well. However, I was reading on the newswire that there's apparently biker business supplies are half off for all businesses, not just the weed business. So 50% off supplies is for every business, whereas every other discount I mentioned is just for weed. But yeah, from there I'll go for the rest of the discounts here. Just want to make sure there wasn't any upgradable vehicle discounts, since it's on multiple websites. And there is stuff on Elitist, but it's probably only for Twitch Prime. Yeah, every single Elitist discount for 7 weeks only for Twitch Prime. And that will be 80% off the Luxor Deluxe and 80% off the Luxor. And then the Dodo, by the way, is not actually on discount, so it's a glitched up discount at the moment. But yeah, Luxor Deluxe. Essentially, you're getting a gold version of the regular Luxor, for the most part. But yeah. You also get, like, you can also have, like, champagne and cigarettes, I believe, in the back. I think those are only, like, 2 other things. And obviously, like, the interior may be different. And I think I heard it has, like, very minor, like, performance differences, but for a vehicle like the Luxor Deluxe, it's not really gonna matter. Not gonna be racing in a Luxor Deluxe or anything, and I'm sure there's better options than the Luxor Deluxe in any race it could participate in. But yeah, basically, it's just a fancy Luxor, of course. And 80% off is probably the best you're pretty much going to get on the Luxor Deluxe for a discount. So if you're Twitch Prime like myself, might finally be the time to pick one up, of course. At only $2 million, that's kind of a steal. But do know in this vehicle you cannot go in passive mode, by the way. It's one of like few vehicles before weaponized vehicles cannot go in passive mode or whatever, or at least most, where you couldn't go in passive mode. Probably because of the drinks in back or some shit, I don't know, because it's wasn't like the Super Volitos, that feature where you can't go in passive mode. But yeah, it's just a bunch of like fun little kind of features, of course, for those who want to live like high life or some shit, or pretend they are, of course. And it's just for pretty much showing off your wealth, so not really a very worthy discount, but obviously it's like lowest price probably ever want to be. Definitely the best time to pick one up. But yeah, regular Luxor, of course, it's just a less featured version of the deluxe one from the Forgotten Games Part 1 update or whatever one it was. Yeah, Part 1. Obviously, it's also from day 1 of the game as well, so you can find these like all throughout the airports and stuff, so really there's no point in getting it unless you want to like complete your Pegasus vehicle collection list. That would pretty much be the only reason to get it, to be honest. If you're like a completionist in the game and want all the Pegasus vehicles in the game. But yeah, first discount on this website will be the Overclock Tyrant. And yeah, I don't feel like this one's top tier for lap time or top speed. Honestly, I'm not gonna remember like so many freaking vehicles with how many vehicles are on the game and their exact placements. But I definitely don't feel this one's a top tier one from what I recall watching. So yeah, it's probably not going to really do you very well in races, so if anything, it's going to be for performance, if it even has very good performance. But I think it's one of the more like bigger, bulkier supercars in the game or whatever. It's kind of the only thing I can think of much on that. Still, obviously with most vehicles like this, it's mainly going to be off your personal preference. actually don't seem to... Okay, I was about to say, I don't actually seem to notice a discount at all. Huh. But apparently there's a Torno on discount as well. On this website. By the way, the Overclocked Tyrant is 40% off, whereas the Zentorno is 60% off. And that's for both regular people on this game and people with Twitch Prime, I think. I'm pretty sure they don't really do to increase sales anymore, or they haven't for a while now, so all these prices are the same for everyone. But yeah, 60% off the Zentorno. Zentorno is actually not necessarily a very bad purchase, even in these days. Like, you would think with all the supercars that they've released, it would have fell, like, a lot under. But I think it might still be within, like, top 10, top 20, if I remember, and it's a pretty affordable supercar compared to most nowadays. So it's definitely quite worth picking up, I would say, and only for 290,000 is kind of a steal. But obviously, again, it's mainly personal preference. But still somewhat competitive, even for being released like way back in 2014, from what I heard. But obviously, refer to roughly 1322 for the exact numbers, as I'm not going to be able to remember hundreds of vehicles and their exact placements, unless I go back to said vehicles. I mean, unless I go back to said, like, videos from roughly 1322. And then Hijack Chameleon's not actually on discount, it's just glitched up at the moment. So yeah, it should have been all the legendary discounts. And then there's 2 discounts on this website, I think. Alright. So for the first of 2 discounts, I'm pretty sure on this website, there's the Ocelot Ardent. And Ocelot Ardent is 60% off, just like this in Torno. So instead of being 1.15 mil, it's 460,000, which is kind of a steal, of course, for the Ardent. However, I would say, honestly, the Ardent is not a very worthy vehicle to get. There's a lot better options on this website for vehicles over the Ardent, for sure. And for weaponry, it really has machine guns on it. And I believe they're like pea-shooter machine guns as well, so that kind of means they're even going to take a while to destroy a civilian vehicle. So it has some of the worst machine guns in the game, from what I recall hearing, like, years back or whatever. And yeah, it has no explosive resistance or bullet resistance or anything. It's pretty much just a sports classic car with, like, machine guns on it. However, the performance on it, from what I recall hearing, is actually pretty good on it. But since it does have the machine guns on it, the performance aspect of it won't really matter. I think the only kinds of races you can even use the Ardent on would probably be transform races. And I don't even know if any Rockstar created ones utilize the Ardent. So if anything, it would really only help with transform races, most likely, if anything. And if you're a big weaponized vehicle collector like myself, then that's pretty much the only big reason I would say for getting it. But for some reason, performance is a big thing for you, even if you can't really use it in races, even though you can really use it in races. And yeah, it's another decent-ish kind of reason to get the Ardent. Insurgent Pickup Custom, by the way, is not actually on discount. I mean, the regular Insurgent Pickup is not actually on discount. It's just glitched up at the moment. And then the Mammoth Hydra. The Hydra is 40% off. So instead of being 3 million exactly, it's 1,800,000, and that's with a trade price. By the way, Arden is just one price, I'm pretty sure. Hydra, you get that trade price by doing one of the like heist setups or something. So yeah, if you don't have the trade price, it's going to be a tiny bit more expensive for you, of course. Probably within like 2 mil instead of like high 3 to like 4 mil range or something. But yeah, Hydra, of course, is a pretty useful vehicle, I would say, in the game. It has a VTOL mode, of course, which means it's a like fighter jet, of course, that can go horizontally or vertically like a helicopter with its VTOL capabilities, making it quite effective with its like machine guns, not as machine guns, but the explosive cannons and the missiles. You can definitely get quite creative with your usage of those. And then, yeah, speaking on the weapons, it has unlimited missiles, of course. However, they do have a cooldown, so like when you use 2 missiles, you have to wait like 2 seconds to fire the next one. So yeah, it's pretty much just like the Buzzard. It has a cooldown on the missiles, so you can't just spam missiles. And also their lock-on is like the Buzzard missiles as well. So there are as plenty of missiles as you can get in the game. So its missile capabilities aren't really very good. However, it's one of the couple of vehicles with the like very good explosive cannons. Just like the Laser and the Savage, I believe, are like the only other couple vehicles with those exact explosive cannons. And yeah, those are the best explosive cannons in the game, I would say. So yeah, it can definitely be very hopeful for like criminal damage, the free roam event or whatever. So it's very good for criminal damage, but of course there's another good couple options I mentioned as well. And then yeah, it can go really fast in its jet mode, and with the VTOL capabilities, it makes it pretty good for doing like VIP work and probably like sourcing stuff as well for like your businesses. So yeah, it's a very versatile vehicle, so it's definitely very useful for sure. And then the Buzzards are not actually on discount, it's glitched up at the moment. So I'll make sure I covered every vehicle discount. Because I believe that should be it. I don't think the other websites have any. Unless they're vehicles from like the Benny's website that can also be obtained on other websites, but still, let's go to Benny's since it has all the upgradable vehicles on it. But yeah, for some of the miscellaneous discounts, like I mentioned, there's half off on biker supplies, and that's for every business, not just a weed business. There's also a couple login rewards actually for this event week, which I haven't covered yet, but I guess I'll go over them near the end of the stream. Not going to go in the clothing store, just going to go on like the notifications if it shows up there. But yeah, another one of the kind of miscellaneous discounts going on right now is 50% off green tire smoke. Obviously, because for 20. And yeah, that would actually be the last like miscellaneous discount. So a couple like miscellaneous small discounts again for the last time will be half off of biker supplies for all businesses, not just weed, and then 50% off green tire smoke. And yeah, that was indeed it for vehicle discounts. So, I'll go over a couple more things as well before I end the stream. So, what would be my strategy for the event week? I would say the strategy for this event week, I would say, obviously, you'll want to, like, keep your, like, weed business producing as much as possible, since that stuff produces, like, passively, of course, so as long as you keep your, like, weed business going still, you can do your contact missions and will still make money as long as it has supplies still going, and it still needs to make money, of course. Until the capacity is like full or whatever of the weed business. So you can make some pretty but yeah, you can definitely make some pretty solid money by combining the contact missions and the weed business in particular, which are 2 times money. So basically, whenever you don't need to like supply your weed business, just do contact missions. And then whenever your weed business gets done, or when you think it gets done, whatever, you then sell, of course, and then get more supplies and rinse repeat with the contact missions and whatnot. So basically, don't even bother with the 3 times money opportunity. Keep the pace. Probably the reason it's 3 times money in the first place is because Rockstar knows it's pretty trash for making money, and people don't even bother playing mode unless it has a thing going on. Oh yeah, I was wondering what that other thing was I was wanting to go over. Alright, looks like it's not on my notifications anymore. So I'll look at the newswire, of course. But yeah, there seems to be free login rewards for this event week, and they're all for the entire week. So far, it doesn't seem there's any, like, kind of weekend kind of events, like the last couple weeks or something that they've been doing before, like with the peyote plants, and like the Halloween mask with, like, Madame Nazar this week. But yeah. But yeah, a couple login rewards for this week is the Bravado stylized NNS JPNTs, and also the white graphic smoking jacket. So all 3 of those are login rewards right now for this event week. Also, I'm not entirely sure if those are like login rewards we've done before, or if those are, not sure if those are old login rewards or if those are like entirely new ones that they've never done as login rewards before. So if they've done them before, of course, you may or may not already have them. But yeah, one last thing I actually want to talk about doesn't relate at all with this channel. If any of you know it relates to my second channel, and would very likely be the resurrection of my second channel, because I don't have any plans with it at the moment. But I'm so fucking hyped for sure for SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Hydrated, which comes out June 23rd, apparently, unless that somehow changes for any reason. A lot of bullshit going on in the world, of course. So yeah, definitely very hyped for that game, so much to the point that I might resurrect the second channel if I don't do anything with it within the next 2 or so months before the game comes out. That would definitely be something I'd like to do for a second channel and resurrect it if I don't bother with it anytime soon, within the next couple months. I probably won't, since I like to focus on the primary channel for sure, which is for GTA and Red Dead in particular, whereas the secondary or miscellaneous channel, whatever, is for basically anything else I want to do. That's a game I'm definitely looking very forward to. Just decided I would mention that, because why not? But yeah, it's finally going to be it for a stream. Yeah, of course my throat has to be fucked as hell for no apparent reason. But yeah, it's finally going to be it for the stream. By the way, this fucking stream, like, processes, like, longer than usual, like, the last couple of few streams I've been doing before. This stream was done on, like, very early Friday morning, for those of you who are curious, for any reason. Yeah, that's fine, gonna be it for the